Welcome to week 6 of the Passive Wealth Investment Podcast. That was such a lame intro. Matter of fact, fuck it, we ain't doing no intro. What I want to do this podcast is I'm just gonna shoot the breeze. I already made the investments for this week. The $10 came in. I paid the loan down some, and I reinvested into the growth section. This is where we're at today in terms of the balance. Like I said, this is going to be a very slow process, and you know what? That's okay, right? But um, this was just going to be a short update. It wasn't really nothing to talk about. I say that every episode, but I kind of freestyle these things. I wanted to be organic. I say this, like back in the day, I don't know, before the internet became what it is today, like the thought of having like your own TV network or your own radio show was something that you would aspire to have, right? Before the internet made everything accessible. Well, even if where was I trying to take that thought? What I was trying to say was consistency. Just be consistent. Now, since the internet is what it is, anybody can do anything they want. They just got to decide to do it. So I decided to have a podcast, and we're going to have an update every week, regardless of how I feel or regardless of how much progress is made. That's what I mean by consistency. Um, what's going on in the market? All right, let's talk from a market perspective. Um, right now, as of today, the market has ran up substantially in terms of AI. Like it's been a lot of money flooding in AI. I said that on a previous podcast, and if you check AI stocks now, they're up like 50%. It's ridiculous. But another sector that hasn't been talked about is the space sector, and that has been getting a lot of attention. So right now in the market, the money is going into space stocks and AI stocks. That's where the money is flowing right now. You can see like a lot of the dividend companies that pay a regular dividend. You can see some of their share prices coming down because money is flowing out of the dividend stocks into the growth stocks. So you can see a shift, right? And what I can say now is don't chase, right? Just don't chase. If somebody's investing in AI, just do your research. Yes, that's where the money is going. Yes, that's where I would invest, but that doesn't mean you have to, right? But let's talk about these space stocks. We have a big event coming up, one of the biggest events in stock market history, and that is the SpaceX IPO. Right? It's supposed to be having an IPO. It's going to be one of the largest listed companies on the U.S. stock exchange. Its debut is going to be at 1.2 trillion dollars. It's going to have a public offering at 1.2 trillion. Um, what does that mean? Well, right now, that means everybody wants to put themselves in position before this IPO goes off, right? So if you was a trader, you would be scooping up these space stocks before the IPO SpaceX actually goes public. Do I care about SpaceX? No, right? And that's just a personal thing because I got a bone to pick. But I'll tell you the angle that I'm going to play with this SpaceX thing. But I say this because it's my radio show. The actual satellites that these companies are using, they're not for your entertainment. It's actually a grid that they use to lock down society. They can manipulate your thoughts with these satellites. I know I just said some scary shit, but let's get back on track. What do I think about SpaceX? It's just adding to the grid that I just previously spoke about, but they're going to try to sell it to you in the package of it's going to be better than having cable, right? So Starlink, even though it's a space company, they're using their satellites for cable TV, so you can basically get cable in the middle of a desert. So that's the angle they're going.